This is episode number 13 of Track Talkers.
No way.
Dude, we have a very special guest and hot topic right now.
I know. Max ANSTIE is trending in the motorcycle community. I'm super bummed super bummed that I missed this interview, but super excited that I am listening to it and seeing what Max says, because I'm excited to see what he does in SouthWick this coming weekend.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great mix-up. And I think he's a guy that is kind of, in a way, a little bit of an underdog story. You know, he's been trying his whole life to become a champion in the United States in Supercross. This is like his dream. Man, it was such a good interview, dude. I got so much in-depth stuff. Max and I also were teammates on Twisted Tea, so I've known Max for quite some time. It was a great conversation. I can't wait for all you guys to listen to it. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. But these interviews are brought to you because one of our sponsors supports us.
Dirt Tricks.
Dirt Trick Sprockets. You see that pimp sprocket right behind you?
Hey, one of or the best sprockets, in my opinion, that you can buy to upgrade your bike.
Bro.
The last sprocket you'll ever need.
I mean, I'm going to go on and rant about this, but the only thing I really need to say, made in America, bro.
Hey, nothing else needs to be said.
Bro, 3 to 4 times, it lasts 3 to 4 times longer than any other sprocket without compromising for weight.
Or performance.
What? This sprocket typically lasts 3 to 500 hours. Guys like Ty Masterpool ripping it in the 450 national class. Let's be realistic. You're probably not racing the nationals. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for you trail riding. Or 100%. Out at the outdoor track, it's going to last 10 times.
Or wherever.
Wherever you want to rip it, ride it, swerve. It don't matter, okay? Dirt Trick Sprockets got named Best Dirt Bike Sprocket of 2023.
Oh, let's go.
Do you want the best or do you want second best? Dirt Trick Sprockets.
Hey.
Okay? Get your Dirt Trick Sprockets 25% off. Track Talkers 25. We'll put the code right here at the bottom of the screen.
Hey, and you guys better use it, because also you guys need to listen through the whole entire podcast, because at the end of the podcast, we're doing a
giveaway. We're doing a giveaway.
Yep.
We are doing a giveaway.
So,
okay. Well, with that being said, let's get right into this. Let's take a listen to this Max ANSTIE interview.
I'm excited.
Yeah, let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a very special episode of Track Talkers. We got the one and only, the GOAT from England, Max ANSTIE on the line. Say what's up, Max.
Oh, what's up, guys? I'm excited to be on, Adam. Excited.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm stoked. We were talking just a little bit just now, and I had my son's very first race this weekend, bro. I wanted to tell you about it. We went down to Lake Elsinore. Max, it's 105 degrees, bro. 105 out. They cut the motos down at Mini Rippers to 1 moto format. So, mind you, my son is, 2.5 right now? Less than 2.5.
Yeah.
So he's not even 2.5 yet. And so he gets 1 lap and 1 race, and the whole thing's done at 9 o'clock in the morning. But regardless, he was in his element, bro. It was so much fun. I had his Strider all decked out. I had graphics on the front of his bike. Just so fucking moto-dadded out. Oh, my gosh.
Dude,
it was so fun, bro.
I saw it, and I saw the start technique. I saw the push.
You saw the start, baby?
Dude, it wasn't even the push that was. It was the standing in front of the other guy's lines.
Hey, okay.
Look back.
Hey. Okay, so I'm gonna say this. Okay, in the 12-inch Strider class, and Max, this is for you because Little Finn's coming up quick, bro. Okay, in the 12-inch Strider class, the rule is the dads are allowed to be on the track. There's
Whoa.
you can be on the track. Parents can be on the track. So that's not a rule that you can't be on the start straight. Like, and two, I looked back because I was trying to like make sure the little kid behind my kid wasn't getting too disrupted, and I was trying to get out of the way. Because I literally, Max, I ran the entire fucking lap. I ran the whole lap with him. Like, that was the thing.
I saw it.
But
I saw it. It was good. It was good.
Yes.
It was sick.
Dude, we podiumed. First ever race. There was like 20 kids. Adam podiumed his first ever fucking race.
Oh, how excited was he? Was he like, did he get proper into it, or was he like kind of not really sure what was going on? And did he get it? Did he fully get it?
No, he didn't get it. He didn't get it. Like, he got the start because I don't know why he does, but he fucking loves ready, set, go. That's like his thing. He puts his elbows up and he's like, ready, set, go. And like, we race all the time, whether it's on foot, it's on bicycles, either way, that's his thing. So when he saw everybody lining up for the start, he was so fucking into it. And like, I did like kind of assist him a little bit, but dude, you'd be surprised if you really watch the video, you can see his feet kicking. Like, he gets the whole shot because we practice ready, set, go constantly because that's all he loves. But I will admit this, we're mid-race and my guy's fucking looking around for mom and shit. Like, he's like got his head turned like backwards on the track. I'm like, no, go this way. Dude, it's the funniest fucking thing you've ever done in your life.
Oh, keep looking forward. He's just fucking checking out what's going on. Like,
oh,
dude,
yeah.
That's cool.
So that was my racing weekend. We came away with third place, even though everybody gets the same trophy, which I think top three should have got something else, but whatever, fuck it. I'm not saying shit.
Participation award.
Yeah, straight up. Everybody got a participation award. Once you get up to the next class, you actually get like a first, second, third, and then everybody else gets the same trophy behind that. But yeah,
dude,
that was...
I remember being a kid, right? And I remember racing this race, and I was, I don't know, like 7. I was on 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I went like DNF 1-1. So like I was last. Basically, like, my points, however it works, was I was the fastest, but I crashed.
Yeah.
So I got 40th place somehow. And I remember having a sick-ass, massive trophy for 40th because it was called Odds and Sods. So it was last place. Okay, I might be getting it wrong with 40th, but however it was.
But still, though,
Down the back of the order, and the first place guy got a tiny little egg cup.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. That's what they used to do in England for the kids. So I don't know. I always remember that. I was like, I shouldn't have got this one, but I did. And it's the best one anyway.
Yeah, because like when you're a kid, it can say first on it, but if it's not big as fuck, it's still not that cool.
Yeah, exactly. That's who you want.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome. So. All right. Well, when is Finn going to be at his first race? How old is he now?
He's 2 and a little bit. He's 2 and a little bit, but it's crazy because with me, see, I've got him a Stasic, I've got him his Strider all decked out with graphics on it, all that stuff. He'll ride the pit bike with me, but he doesn't really want to do it with me. But yet my dad came over. Was here with him for 5 minutes, and my dad gets him on the bike. He's riding his Stasic around or doing whatever he's doing. And I'm like, how do you do that? And it's just, I'm not pushing it. I've got it ready if he wants to do it. It's honestly so hot here at the moment that I'm actually kind of pumped that he doesn't want to ride all the time, because the last thing I want to do when I get back from the track is go outside again and go. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, at the moment, he's not that into it. He kind of is, and he likes to watch it. And, I mean, he likes watching you on Monster Jam. That's basically his favorite thing. Dude, literally, I mean, I was just playing Monster Trucks with him just before he went to bed 5 minutes ago.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, you never know. He might be into that. Now I'm racing, which we were really trying to come to, I think you're in Pensacola.
Uh-huh.
Or, I don't know, Millie had it all planned. We were going to do that, but now I'm racing, so we can't do that. We were going to come down to watch. You were going to come to actually see the real Monster Jam.
Dude, it's pretty.
That would have been fun. But
yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, dude,
well,
don't
when
worry.
we get a chance, we will.
Yeah, don't worry about little Finn, because Adam was the same way, and it's weird how it just like flips the switch. And Adam was actually riding his Stasic like when he was a year and 9 months. And then he whiskey throttled it one time, like he was killing it, and he whiskey throttled it one time, and he hasn't touched it. Like he won't touch it since. And then like really recently, I tricked his ass, and this is my recommendation for you. Like, dude, whatever Finn's favorite Monster Jam truck is, get a whole graphics kit and put it on his bike. I put a whole Spider-Man fucking Stasic bike together, and he will not get off the fucking thing. Like,
that's actually that's a good idea.
It's a great idea. I'm telling you, because they just get a little scared, and you can't communicate with them. So if you get them to like it, then they just do it all the time, and then they realize like, oh shit, this is actually really fun, and Dad was right. But
at the beginning, right? So like as a parent, like it's a weird thing, right? So he was, I don't know, a year and a half or whatever, and I hadn't thought much about it, right? Like I hadn't really thought much about him even riding. Like it hadn't crossed my mind. Then it was like we had a few guys come over, or we had a few of his friends come over, and there was some kids that were similar age to him that were wide open, like literally on their bikes, riding, like doing all this stuff. And I left, and I was like, am I like a bad parent because I can't teach him? Like I was like, hold on, what? Like that's the one thing I'm good at. So like, surely I need to be able to teach him. But he was more interested in picking flowers and taking them back to mama than he was, or running after the bikes than he was actually like riding it. And I was like, it took me a little bit, because I'm like, it was just weird. Yeah. But then now I kind of got over it, and I'm like, to be honest, I actually don't really want to be outside in the garden right now.
Well, dude, I'm telling you, bro, the more I learn about my little guy, the more it's just they're doing whatever the fuck they want to do at whatever pace they want to do it. You know, there's going to be kids that I seen these kids at the gym, dude, that are like gymnasts, and they do backflips, and they're like 2.5, 3. You know, and Adam barely gets on the trampoline, and then the next week, he's jumping off the top of the thing. I mean, it just all depends on what they want to do and when they want to do it. Dude, not every kid has to be a superstar from when they're 2 or like dirt bikes or whatever. That's not how so many of us did it. Like, it doesn't work that way. You just kind of go with the flow, and trust me. Yeah. Once they actually can acknowledge the fact that Dad's a fucking badass supercross racer, he's going to be like, yep, that's what I want to do. Dad. But they're like not even conscious yet, you know, but.
No, exactly.
Anyways, kid talk out of the way. Let's get a little bit more in depth about Max ANSTIE. So I know, you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm always ready. I was born ready.
Hell yeah. Okay, so talk to us just a little bit about how the whole star racing thing came about back in 2010. Was it 2010 or was it before that?
Oh yeah, 2010. Yeah, so I was I used to race in Europe, obviously on 60s and 85s. Like I would come over to America every now and again, do World Mini in Vegas. Then in end of 07, I came out to the US to be like, I was going to be homeschooled. Well, I was homeschooled in 2008, and I was going to race. Well, I raced like the 125, Schoolboy, 250B, all that kind of stuff for KTM. And then in 09, I remember, which it's a weird thing because it didn't actually happen, but yet for some reason I was under the impression that it did happen. I was told that the rule was going to be changed from 16 to 18 to go pro.
Yeah.
And my deal with KTM was supposed to go pro at the end of 2010 outdoors. But I would have been 17, and it wouldn't, like, my whole deal kind of got messed up. This was like totally what I thought I was under the impression. But to be honest, I think my dad and just the people that were around me at the time had other ideas, and it was just like, let's just go pro now. Let's just go pro now, you know, whatever. So in 2009, I went from racing Lake Whitney and Oak Hill in the B class, in like early in the year to racing, to lining up at Glen Helen. Glen Helen was my first national in 2009, and I rode for J Law. It was the Boost Mobile AMPM team.
Yep.
It was J Law and Nick Way on 450s, and me I was on a white KTM that looked a bit like their Yamahas. It was real weird.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I actually remember that bike.
Yeah, it was sick. So did some outdoors. I was fast-ish, but I crashed a lot. I was 16, but honestly, I was built like I was super small and weedy. Like I wasn't. As soon as I crashed, I broke something.
Yeah.
Or it hurt. You know, I was out for a little bit. I could do 5 laps pretty good, and then the rest of the time I was like a little flag on the back of the bike. Like,
that's funny.
So anyway, so I then actually got a ride with Star in 2010. So my debut in Supercross, was I did Anaheim 1 West Coast, qualified second, behind Hanny, I think, or maybe it was Jake Weimer, one of them, and it was me and Brock Tickle West Coast, and yeah, I did the West Coast Supercross for Star, did outdoors for Star, and then in San Diego Supercross, I nearly won San Diego. It was a mud race. Like there was this big double across the start. I was catching Weimer at one point. Ended up going down, picking the bike up, was in neutral, like fell over again. And Seeley and Will Hahn beat me just to the finish line. I remember kind of having a conversation. I'm pretty sure it was I remember having a conversation with Mitch, or my dad did. Again, I was young, so I'm sort of hearing things through
Totally. Your job's to ride the dirt bike at that point.
Yeah. Well, in my mind, I was told, go back to Europe for a year in 2011, ride for the Kawasaki Pro Circuit team that they were trying to kind of make over there.
Yep.
Do 1 year in Europe and then come back to America the year after. So I went back in 2011 and rode for Cowie on a 250. I was teammates with Tommy Sell. But honestly, as soon as I left America, like, you're out of sight, out of mind. Like, you get, 1, forgotten about, and 2, it was so difficult. It was so difficult for me to get back to the US until our man D Pipes, until Dustin was hitting me up at the end of 2019,
which is a big span. That's not like for all of you listening, this is not like a year. This is like fucking 9 years later, right?
Yeah, I did 2011 on Cowie. I did 2012 on Garibaldi Honda, which is now the factory team 250. I did 2013 on factory Suzuki 250, which was Suzuki Europe, run by Eric Gabor, Sylvain Gabors. 2014, I rode for Steve Dixon's team, which was the Cosworth Yamaha. 2015.
Dude, how do you remember all that?
Because I changed bikes so much, I can remember what year they were. So 2015 was a Cowie, and I was third in the World Championship that year, won quite a few races.
Yep.
That was a good year. 2016 was Factory Husky, my last year in 250s. So that was my last year in 250s. That was my last full season of racing 250 outdoors until right now.
Wow.
Well, until so
yeah.
So then 2017 and 2018 I rode Factory Husky 450. 2019 I rode for KTM Standing Construct, was teammates with Glenn Koldenoff.
Yep.
And then at the end of 2019, Millie and myself came to America to get married, and she wanted to get married somewhere hot, and it was near Hollister, which was about an hour away from where the test track was. And
It so happened to be.
Literally. And it was, I brought one set of boots and one set of gear out because I thought I was going trail riding with my dad. The day, literally, so 3 days before the wedding, the deal that I was supposed to have with Kawasaki, I had a deal with Factory Cowie in Europe, kind of being lined up through a British team, but I was going to get the factory bikes.
Mm-hmm.
It fell through. Basically, I was in the hotel in Hollister or wherever I was, and it was like, sorry, Max, this is not going to work.
Wow.
So I said to Millie, do you mind if I go and ride like a Supercross track on a Suzuki? I said, Dustin Pipes says that his track is only an hour away. Adam's up there riding, and and I haven't ridden Supercross in a long time, but I honestly think I'd be pretty good at it. Can I go and do it? And she's like, yeah, fuck it, let's go. And that was where it was. That was the first day that I showed up to ride Supercross up there with Dustin, and then yeah, we know how that went. So did outdoors in 2020 and 21. 21 did Supercross and outdoors and stuff with you guys, and then 22 was obviously Rocky Mountain, but that kind of went sideways a few rounds into Supercross, and then got picked up to race the 250 stuff with Firepower, and here we are now, a couple of years later.
Yeah. So what, Max, like, what made you, from even like a young kid, because I mean, I didn't even think about this when we were teammates either, but dude, you sound so dead set on racing here and racing Supercross. Like, where did that come from? Was that from you watching Supercross on TV? Was that your dad? Like, where and when do you remember, like, hey, racing in the United States and racing Supercross is what I want to do and what I have to do? And it, like, the way you talk about it too feels like that's what you're meant to do.
Yeah. So yeah, I was, it was weird because ever since I was 7 years old, ever since I started riding a bike, right? My dad always had a little bit of land. It wasn't a lot of land. So what do you do with a little bit of land? You build a Supercross track, basically.
So there you go.
I basically had from a 50, it wasn't even a real Supercross track. It was just loads of jumps that I could just make into a track. Like, it wasn't like I had jumps named and numbers. I had a Carmichael jump. I had a Magoo jump. I had tabletop 1, 2, 3, 4. I had loads of different jumps that I would then mix to make a track, and it was all about. And like my dad, to be fair, like, to be honest, my dad was really good, and he is still really good with the young kids at training. Like, it was all I would do is play games of like high jumps. Like, he would build like a high jump thing, and it would, how high can you pre-jump and pick the bike up? How clean can you be on this tabletop and make sure you hit the landing? You need to do it 10 times right. It was never about going fast. And it was weird because I did that on a 50. I did that pretty much on a 65. Then as I was about 10 years old, I started going to Holland and Belgium to ride in the sand on the weekend. So I would leave after school on a Friday, go and ride over there Saturday, Sunday, and then drive back. It's only like 6 hours, but in Europe, that's quite a big deal. But I would go and do that, and then I would just ride at my little kind of Supercross style track from a young age. So I grew up watching it, and we didn't have Instagram or anything like that back then. It was just all magazines, and I just remember thinking that America was the coolest place in the world, and coming to race Supercross, like Jeremy McGrath, it just felt like a light year away. Like, it felt like it was a completely different world, but I don't know. I just always wanted to be there. So one thing led to another, and I it sounds kind of crazy, and maybe I mean, yeah, maybe it wasn't particularly the right way, but my dad was so big on safety skills. So it was like grabbing your rear brake, like if your front's high, making sure that you can case stuff, making sure you can overjump stuff. Like I never did motos until I was like basically 15 or 16. But
it worked.
But I have to, yeah. But what I have to say about now, like I've had some great conversations with Justin Brayton. He's been helping me out, and he's been a teammate of mine the last couple of years, and it's crazy how, you know, everyone from such a young age wants to be a jet or a danger boy, and be 16 and be literally lighting the world on fire. But then, you know, so many guys get injured and this and that and the other. But yet, if you look at Justin Brayton, he was 38, 39, still very, very competitive. You think, wow, that's over a 20-year professional career where you can make proper money. Well, yeah. How do you do that? And how do you have, of course, everyone wants to win, but you still have to keep yourself safe. And by doing that, it's by having the right techniques and skills. And I don't know, I just kind of always did it from a young age. And Supercross was just something that I loved to do. And I don't know, like I spent a lot of time racing GPs, of course, like 8-9 years. And at that time, my focus was to win a world championship. Your focus is whatever's in front of you, and your goal is whatever's in front of you. But I always felt like I was missing, like, you know, when Supercross was on, I would watch Supercross and I would feel kind of like, I'd feel kind of like a bit bad inside. You know, when you're injured and you're missing a race.
Yes, and you're like, what the fuck? I should be down on that floor right now.
Yes, exactly. I had that. And yet I didn't even ever race Supercross. Like, I didn't know it, but I had that about that. Whereas now when I watch GPs, like I GPs have a special place in my heart because I've raced them, but I don't
need to be there.
Really, yeah, I don't need to be there. Whereas, like, when I watch Supercross, I'm like, or like SMX, like I'm like, fuck, I just want to fucking be there. Like, I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to do that. Like,
yeah,
you know.
Yep.
So I don't know. It was just, I guess I just love it, and I was always naturally good at it, and or maybe not naturally. Maybe it was just all work from being a young age on skills and things like that. And I feel safe. I like doing jumps. I like putting big things together. Like, I like figuring out the whoops. I like my brain. I like to think about stuff. Like, people used to tell me that I was an overthinker and this and that and the other, but Supercross gives me a lot to think about. Whereas outdoors, when I used to go to the tracks in like the GPs, I would know from one year to the next, the track would be exactly the same the next year.
Yeah.
Like, whereas Supercross, you show up, it's brand new. You've got to learn it. You've got to figure it out. You've got to figure out how to get through the whoops, when to jump the whoops, when to skim them, you know, different techniques, this gear, what gear, double, triple, double. What are you going to do? Like that, I love to think about that sort of shit. And I kind of, I don't know, I just feel like it's what I was meant to do. So yeah.
I definitely agree with you. I feel like the first time I saw you on a Supercross track, like compared to even when I saw fucking Hurlings or what's fucking his name on the Honda that I should totally know. Nope, not Prado. The guy in the
Geyser.
Honda. Geyser. Gosh, when I saw him at Monster Cup, dude, you are so much smoother. You know what I mean? Like the first time I seen you ride a Supercross track, I was like, holy shit, this guy's fucking good at jumps. Like his timing and the way he's getting up and down in the transitions was really good. Where like you could see Geyser was struggling to, it's not like Geyser was a bad rider, but when he came over to MEC, you could see that he had a problem with timing and getting through the jumps quickly. He could do the jumps, but doing the jump and getting through a rhythm section quick is two totally different things. So you could tell
exactly.
Whatever you did in your past or the talent that you have is great in Supercross. Now, rolling over to the next question I have for you, when did you know that, okay, this actually could happen? Because I'm sure there's a lot of kids that fucking dream like, okay, this young kid from Britain that's pretty good at dirt bikes and, I want to go race Supercross. But when did it really, like, at what point in your career was it like, holy shit, like I not only need to do this for myself, but I definitely can do this? When did that happen?
It sounds like a cliche answer, but I never felt like I couldn't do it. It was like what I say about missing, like when I wasn't doing, I was missing something.
Yeah.
So it was like I felt like I was missing something if I wasn't doing it. So I had to do it, and it was not normal, but it felt right.
Yeah.
So it's weird because I was 16 and I turned, right. When I was young, everything happened so fast. Like you go one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. You're racing Loretta's, you're racing Europe, you're racing this, you're racing that. Oh, wow, you've lined up at Glen Helen as your first pro race. Oh, great, you've got landed on a couple of times. All right, you've got a 12th. Oh, you've got a 6th. Oh, you've got this. Then it just rolled on. I never really had that moment of like, oh, wow. Now I've got older, and now I've, got Finn, my little guy.
Yeah.
I do appreciate, and, every time I go down to the start line and I've made a main event even, just you go down, it's 9 o'clock, you're riding through the little streets to get to the stadium.
Damn,
I just think, fuck me, this is cool. I just think, oh yeah, like
it's still that little boy like happiness feeling of like little Adam at his first race type of shit, where you're like, you still can't. There's moments where you still can't fucking believe it.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, all right, now, but on the other hand, on the flip side, I'm super grateful and super. It being a little older brings you to the present, because you realize that, all right, it's not gonna carry on forever.
Yep.
But on the other side, my brain quickly goes to, fuck, I used to beat Tomac as an amateur. I know that's a very broad subject, but
yeah, but
I raced. I was okay. Let's say maybe I didn't beat him like all the time, but I was at least in the conversation, like him or Anderson and Hurlings and Kenny Roxon, like Jason Anderson. Like, dude, I look at them and I think, fuck, they've done all of that. They've achieved all of their stuff. Like, dude, I'm still behind. Like, I want to do that. I want to be there. So it's like, it's weird because you quickly go from, oh my God, this is cool, I'm in America, this is insane, to fuck, these guys have won all this stuff. Now I need to win. Like, I need to win.
Yep.
So it's crazy how your mind works like that. But yeah, no, it's pretty awesome. I love being where we're at right now. I mean, it's crazy how it can all change and you don't know what's happening. So each race, let's take it one race at a time.
Totally. So let's move forward. Let's fast forward a little bit and we'll make these quick. What was the biggest benefit that you had from racing for Twisted Tea? Like how many years did you race for Twisted Tea? Was it 2 or was it 3?
Hold on, you froze there. What was the biggest benefit from riding
like, what
for
was the
Twisted
biggest
Tea?
benefit? Yeah, like, what was your biggest benefit from riding for Twisted Tea? Like, what did you learn? The podium at Loretta's, just getting on the bike and getting back here. What did you take from being on Twisted Tea?
My teammate was pretty cool. I don't know.
Hell yeah! What up?
Ever match that? Yeah, we had a good time, didn't we? I mean,
dude, we had such a good time. I mean, even from your
Talladega. Carry on.
I said, even from your butt ass, naked ass that I had to come up and see every day, to fucking just practice days, to Millie and hanging out with everybody. I mean, dude, we had such a fucking good time. That was so
dude,
fun.
It's funny.
Bro.
It's funny you say that because I don't know if that's a British thing, but I see that all the time. And the amount of people that have I'm hot and I just want to get I just want to put dry underwear on.
Yes,
and I'm like,
totally.
Oh, fuck it. Everyone's seen it before. I
Totally.
try and go in the corner, but then people, literally the amount of time that people have walked straight in and seen the one-eyed monster staring at them. Dude, I have to say, and Shane will back me up on this, the worst was probably Shane being teammates with Shane McElrath in 2022. I would do that all the time, and obviously he's obviously so religious.
Yes.
and I love him. He's great, but fuck, I would just take my pants off all the time without really realizing it and thinking about it.
Yeah, totally.
And I was like, fuck. I was like, oh fuck, I shouldn't do this. And then I was like, shit, I shouldn't be cursing. I was like, oh fuck, oh shit. And I was like, I was getting myself in a state. I was like,
well, I mean, dude, you come off a 30-minute moto or 20-minute moto at Supercross. You're hot. Your balls are hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're hot, dude. We need to get down and to the chonies. And Max decided the chonies weren't needed either, which I'm fine with. I didn't care. You know what I mean? The first time, I seen it, but the second time it was just like, oh, that's just Max. I got to get dressed. We got to get ready for the second moto. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like
exactly.
It's kind of like it is what it is. You know what I mean?
I mean, but between us reciting the whole of Talladega Nights or Harry Potter,
the Harry Potter thing was good, dude.
Yeah, you're a wizard, Harry. But yeah, no, I mean, Twisted Tea, to be honest, they gave me the opportunity to get back into America. Like they opened the door for me because it's so difficult to just break into the US. Like once you've left the US, like everyone's question is, can you ride Supercross? Are you good at Supercross?
Yep.
And hey, it's so crazy now, right? So I've been riding a Supercross like on a 250 Supercross team for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen comments and people saying, oh, but dude, can he even ride outdoors? I'm like, are you guys...
Fuck!
I'd like, you should go and do your research, boys, because I think you're in for a bit of a shock in a couple of weeks.
Fucking A, huh? Okay, so we've moved on from Twisted Tea. We got a ride with Firepower Honda. You got a great opportunity over there, and it seemed like you were really happy, especially by the end on the 250, because initially, I could be wrong, but initially, kind of you came over to the States, got on the Twisted Tea ride, wanted to ride the 250, but that kind of wasn't the option. And your eyes were set on, hey, I want to ride 250 Supercross. And then as you jumped to Firepower Honda, you got an opportunity to ride for Firepower on a 250. And it looked like from outside looking in, and I've dealt with Yuriv too, he looked like he had a really good package for that 250.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was one of those where you can't skip steps. And for me, if I wanted to be competitive in Supercross, we all know how gnarly the 450 class is, but it's not just about that. It's about checking the boxes of, I've got to win a race on a 250. I've got to win a heat race. I've got to win qualifying. I've got to learn the racecraft. If I want to be the person that I believe I can be, which is a race winner and a 250 champion now, and it's within a couple of years, Yuriv and the crew there, we built a good bike, we had a good package for Supercross, and we raced the World Supercross too, which for me, one round was in England, so that was really cool.
Absolutely.
I got to race Supercross back at home in front of the home crowd, and get more laps in on Supercross, because effectively everyone that is maybe short-sighted looks at me and goes, oh, he's 31, he's whatever. But actually in 2023, that was my first full season of Supercross, because we did a few rounds on Twisted Tea, and I did a few rounds on the KTM, but I never actually did a full season. So I got to do the full 250 championship last year, and then this year I felt like, even though I'm older, I still felt like I was learning. Like I would show up to the track. I remember in 2023 there were some rounds. There was like, when they had the dragons backs and the whoops. There were some whoops and some dragons backs. So I was like, dude, I've never seen this. I'm walking the track and I'm like,
How do you
don't know
even
how to
fucking
do it.
this? Yeah, how do you do this?
Like there were some weird jumps with like knuckles on, and I'm like, do I go over that or do I go like? And then I'm like, how's that gonna? It was just I felt like I was a rookie, which was cool. Like, and although I was a little older and I have the maybe experience to know where my limit is, so I'll keep a few % in the tank so I don't weed myself up. But I felt like I learned a lot, and then now having this opportunity come along with Star, it's like wow, when I first moved to the States, I mean, when I was trying to go to Star originally when I first moved over and I was riding the Suzuki. Obviously Star is a dream team for everyone and every fan probably out there.
No question. If there's a team that you want to be on right now, top tier, it's Star Racing Yamaha, and my team back in the day was Factory Honda. And to me, those even Factory Honda, I don't think has an edge on Star Yamaha. I think they have Jet, who's an absolute phenom, and making that program better and making them invest back into Honda and bringing them to the top. But I really think that the best bike you can be on right now is a Star Racing Yamaha.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, 100%. And for me, I had multiple people tell me, "Oh, you're getting older." And I was 28. You're 29. Oh, you're 30. You're never going to get a Star Racing ride. Everyone wants, the young kid, the next young kid. And I'm like, I'm just looking at these people thinking, if you're smart, just fucking look at me, because I will be solid. I will be solid. I will be consistent. And I will fucking win some races. And now all of a sudden it's worked out. And yeah, it's an unbelievable opportunity now. And to be honest, so I was supposed to race the World Supercross and Australian Championship this year for Yariv.
Yep.
But that would have run me right up until December. So me and Yariv, we had a good chat after a few weeks ago, and we just basically had a heart-to-heart, and I just said to him, look, mate, I really, I've achieved, I'm the World Supercross champion in 250s in 2023. Yeah. I've achieved the Australian Championship twice. We've won a race in Supercross. I appreciate everything, but my heart right now is on doing everything I possibly can so that next year I can show up at Detroit or at A1, and I can show up at Pala for round one of outdoors and be ready to win a championship. Yeah. Not go in with just a few weeks of prep because I've just got on the bike in December and I'm like, I mess up the first few rounds because I'm still learning stuff and whatever, and end up not doing what I really want to do. I am older. I am 31. I think Yariv respected that I just didn't want to waste any more time. I just didn't want to wait until next year and it's my birthday again.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's not even that you're wasting time. It's that Yariv, Yariv has a fantastic program. He is building it. He's been a great guy. He's got a great bike, but he knows that where you want to be and what you're doing. It's not that you're wasting time going over to Australia. Goals are different. You have X amount of time in this sport. He knows the opportunity that you have at Star Racing Yamaha, and I'm sure Yariv was bummed, but at the same time, he's like, you know what, dude, this guy delivered race wins straight up on this bike for me. He delivered Australian championships. I'm sure you guys have a fantastic relationship, and Yariv, your conversation was just, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to be here. I appreciate everything you've done. And, thank you.
That's it. 100%. That is literally 100%. And for me, going into these next few rounds of outdoors, I wasn't supposed to start for another 6 months. So for me, it's like Star are all on board with, right, let's get the ball rolling. Let's see how we communicate. Let's see how my testing has been. Let's get me fit on outdoors. Let's get some laps in.
Yep.
Let's learn the bike, learn each other, learn my mechanic, learn the crew, so that just random stuff. Racing the 250. I haven't raced a 250 in outdoors, like I said, since 2016 properly, like in an actual championship.
Yep.
So let's get some time in and get ahead of the ball game coming in for next year and do the SMX and all that stuff. So that's where my mindset is right now. And so far, you know, I've been on the Swanee program with Swanee for a couple of weeks now. And I've had a couple more weeks before that of riding the bike. I did a little bit of Supercross to start with, and then got on to outdoors. So I haven't had loads and loads of time, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm in a good spot. I mean, it's kind of hard not to feel in a good spot when the bike is very very
solid.
Very impressive.
I mean, there's we don't have to cover anything up. We don't have to sugarcoat it. The Star Racing Yamaha, you watch them on the track. The suspension's phenomenal. The R&D that they have on that team is phenomenal. The motor's great. I mean, it's the best 250 on the track. You know, Mitch.
Yeah, and they have so many riders.
Yeah, and so much testing and depth to have data.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Like it's literally like that. They put me on a package, and it's like, oh yeah, but this isn't just a base thing. This is like all the other riders, and we're all. So it's like, oh, good. Well, at the end of the day, of course, I'm gonna have to fine tune and tweak things, and yes. I don't know if I'm going to be in the ballpark, but I don't know if it's right or not, or perfect for me or not, whatever. But at the end of the day, that's the whole point of me doing these, is to figure that out and to make progress for next year. And yeah, I just think for me, we didn't have to move like Millie and Finn. We're here. We're set up. We live in Cairo anyway, and it's 12 minutes. It's 12 minutes for me to get to the farm, which is Carmichael's farm, and it is unbelievable. The facility there is literally like the sickest thing I've ever. And talking about realizing that you've made it, the day that I drove in there and I'd signed my contract, and I drove in and saw the number 4 water tank there, the 2 Supercross tracks, the sick outdoor track, the absolutely insane massive gym, and the workshop with about 5,000 bikes in, I thought, you know what? I think I might have made it now.
I think you fucking did, bro. Oh shit. That's exactly one of the questions I wanted to ask you, was like, describe to me the moment, like what did you and Millie do? Where were you guys when you found out, like, this is actually happened? All this work, all this time, you're 30 years old, right? How old are you, Max?
Yeah, I think I'm 31. I'm 31.
Okay, so 31 years old, and your whole entire life, this has been the dream, and you achieved it. What was that moment like?
Well, it was wild. So throughout Supercross, obviously my results were pretty good, and I was talking to so Justin Brayton's been really good. He's been helping me out throughout this whole
process
transition. I mean he's a friend, a manager, an advisor, whatever you want to call
everything.
He's been fantastic in this whole situation. So we were talking to Troy Lee. We were talking to Triumph. Obviously, Triumph being from the UK, the British side were pushing hard, and you know, for me, that's an iconic brand. My granddad used to have a Triumph, and that's pretty cool. And even HRC, you know, I loved Honda, and I was really trying to make something happen there, but none of those things lined up, and obviously Honda have got, you know, 2 fantastic riders. It just wasn't, they have 250 guys. It was just finding space and spots. It was just difficult. And I was kind of going through all that process of figuring all that kind of stuff out. And I was at the chiropractor, right? I was literally at the chiropractor, and Brad texted me, and I'd had a few conversations with Star, but nothing like
serious,
nothing that serious. Like, I hadn't even talked about anything really. Just like, are you interested? Obviously, yes, I am. Yeah. But that was it. So I was at the chiropractor, and I got a message saying Bobby is expecting you to come to the workshop now to sign a deal. And I was like, what? So I was like,
God.
So Millie thought I was coming home for dinner, and I was like, I said to the chiropractor, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. So I left there. I called Millie and I said, I don't think I'm going to be home for dinner. Give me a little bit. So I went straight to the workshop. Obviously, I went straight to the farm.
Yeah, T's going to have to wait.
I said, we haven't talked about anything. What do you mean? What is it? And he goes, well, we'll talk about it right now. Let's do it. And I was like, okay. And they basically gave me a letter of intent and said, you got 24 hours to sign it. I called Brayton while I was in there and I said, this is fucking sick. Let's do it.
Yep. Sign. Where do I sign? Where's the line? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That was it. So no, it's cool. And originally, of course, the only hiccup was I couldn't start until December because of my current deal. But it's for 2025 and 2026, 250 Supercross and 250 Motocross. So yeah, happy with that. And then it all kind of worked out that, yeah, I started riding, got on the bike and was like, man, I really feel like it would be more beneficial for me to do some of these outdoors. And now it's all worked out. So yeah, that's how it was. I came home from there and said to Millie, I said, whoa, all right, we've done it now. It was cool.
Wow. Well,
it was very cool. I'll spare you the details, but
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Hell yeah. We got to celebrate. You know what I mean? Fucking A. Oh, shoot. Well,
you think my drawers were on the floor fast after I finished them? No, I'm joking.
Oh, shit. Hey, dude, that's how I would have celebrated. I'm just saying. But, Max, dude, I just want to tell you, bro, I appreciate every single minute of your time tonight. Thank you so much for coming on. I know you're in Florida right now. It's late. Max ANSTIE will be riding in Southwick this coming weekend. One of the best, coolest guys on the track. Make sure you guys are cheering for him. He'll be racing the rest of motocross and then SMX and then starting out the championship fresh. Are you doing MX of Nations too as well or no?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's not like us. Well, I mean, it's not official because I guess
you have to get chosen.
I haven't
right?
actually been picked, but I will be picked because I mean, I am the as far as 250 riders go, like, yeah, it'll be the. I mean, I'm hoping that Deegan gets picked for USA and possibly Justin Cooper, because the British Federation don't have as much money as they would like to have, so their budget to get the bikes over there.
Totally.
But no, it'll be sick. It's in England. It's at Matley Basin again, so that is a massive reason. Like me being able to race at home on this star bike on a 250 is going to be incredible because I won that race in 2017 on a 450, but now to go there on a 250, it's kind of different. It's not like I could race it on a 450. It's kind of like I got the expectation of trying to do that again. Whereas on the 250, it's like I could go out, have an amazing race, and race in front of my home crowd, which I don't get to do very often.
Yeah,
so
totally.
For me, if I get the opportunity to do it, I'm grabbing it as with both hands, and it's something pretty special racing at home for me because being away from friends and family and all that stuff over here, that's one of the things it's pretty cool being able to go and race back at home.
Cool. Well, hell yeah. Right now, just signed with Star Racing Yamaha, Max ANSTIE. What a badass, dude. That was a great interview. Thanks for being on Track Talkers, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bro.
Dude, that
interview was awesome.
Dude, I freaking love Max, bro.
And too, I love how like he didn't do obviously Max ANSTIE has all-time best interviews on the podium, but that
definitely one of the best.
That was Max ANSTIE to a T. That if you met him on the street or if you're friends with him, that's how Max would act. And I'm just glad that came out, and I'm super excited for him to be on Star and how that all came about and how he started in Star and then did a full circle, and now he's back at Star for a multi-year deal. Like,
wow.
Phenomenal.
And dude, to me, like the way he was talking, it sounds like he like really wants and believes he can win. Like he was talking about how he beat Eli Tomac in his amateur career, Anderson, Ken Roxon.
Well, dude, you got to think like in this 250 East Coast, like he was so fast. He was getting like top qualifiers. He was, you know, all through the paddock and through the industry. We knew he was ripping at MTF and he was getting fastest lap times. He just couldn't get it off the start, right?
Yeah.
And now he's going to be, you know, arguably on the fastest 250 out there. And hopefully that gets him a couple more positions up front where he can start top 5 or top 3. And we know he's got the speed to win. So, you know, I think this is the missing key in his mind that he needed. And now it's just up to him.
Yeah. And too, you know, he really needed to get off the gate. Yeah. You know, he had the speed. We knew he could do it, but he had to get off the gate. And in the 250 class, it's more of a horsepower race than anything.
Well, especially at the gate. And I don't know how much Max weighs, but he's definitely
not the smallest.
He's not the smallest.
He's not big.
No.
But he ain't Hayden Deegan.
No. Or, you know, he's
or
not
Levi Kitchen.
Or Tom Vial.
Yeah, he definitely ain't Tom Vial.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a grown-ass man, and I think it's going to be an awesome 2 years on Star Racing Yamaha.
Yeah, and I think it was a really good decision for him to, you know, talk to the team and elect to ride outdoor. You know, like...
Well, and, too, just to figure it out, like, how cool is your Reeve figuring it out with Max?
I mean, that was an all-time move.
You know, because you got to think, your Reeve wants Max back to fucking win the Australian Supercross.
And World Supercross. You know?
Like... I'm wondering on how, you know, what was like kind of the deciding factor, if like Carson Mumford had anything to do with it because of that new signing with Firepower Honda.
Oh, that's right. Like maybe he filled that gap a little bit.
You know, where Reeve can sell it to his sponsors in Australia. Like, hey, we got another American kid. He's going to also be in the championship. You know, we'll be fine, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
You know, those talks have to be going on.
Oh, 1,000%.
You know, besides, you know, that's away from Max ANSTIE. Like, that has nothing to do with Max ANSTIE, but just on your Reeve, still filling the team, still making sponsors happy over in Australia.
Yeah.
You know, and World Supercross.
Yep. And I think, you know, for Carson Mumford, that is a good spot because I think Carson Mumford also kind of strives at being the top dog. Just like anybody would, you know, and for him over there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on him, and he's going to be the center of attention.
Too, like you just were talking about the top dog, but like I think a lot of people don't understand. Like, you know, Carson Mumford needs to go over to Australian Supercross and win.
Yeah,
like Carson Mumford hasn't won a main event or races, you know, in a long time.
Yeah,
you know, so I think that's going to be really good for him.
And, too, you know, it was just so interesting to me how Max talked about how his dad went about how he trained him. Like, he said he didn't do laps or work
all
on
the way
speed.
until 15 or 16.
Dude, and that's just a testament to all these dads out here. Like, dude, I tell them all the time, like, with your kids, make it fun. Make it a game. Give them something to, like, strive for, you know? And that's what his dad was doing, where he wasn't making it work. He was making it like this fun game that Max just did every day.
Yeah, and I don't want to get on a rant because this kind of hits a nerve with me. Is just like, dude, all these new parents that are getting into moto, I love you guys, and we need that next generation, but goddamn, be patient with your kid.
Oh.
Like, you know, if you don't have a Jet Lawrence or Hayden Deegan where he's a phenomenal, like a phenom at age, you know, 14 or 15,
chill out, bro.
There's another way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, me and Addie have both seen everybody. Like, me and Addie were both late bloomers. We've also seen other riders being late bloomers. Just like, you know, if the kid has the passion and the want to do it, and that comes first, then he's going to get that spurt, and he's going to grow, and he's going to become a fast rider, whatever that could be.
Yeah, and one of the things that I tell and talk to people about all the time, and it's not like I didn't want to win, but at the same time, you have to have a little bit of reality here. You know, Ken Roxon and some of those guys are so talented from the get. It's insane. Yeah. You know, there's only the thing that I want to make a point. There's only one winner. That's it.
Yeah.
One fucking guy in each class. So technically 2 guys, but that's it. Out of everybody that goes through amateurs, all the people that ride dirt bikes, there's 2 guys at the top level, 250 and 450, that win the race. That's it. There's just still a way to make a career out of racing. You know, your kid might not end up being Jet Lawrence, which is 1 in a bajillion, but there's still a way to make a career out of it and have a great time. But, you know, when you're 12 years old, that doesn't mean you got to do 30, 30-minute motos at the thing, if your kid doesn't even know how to jump the jump yet.
Yeah, and why we're talking about this now, and we might be going off on a little tangent, but just to bring this to first circle, like Max ANSTIE was over here, racing in the States at like 13, 14, doing super mini classes, doing Lorettaland regional qualifiers, sponsored by KTM, and then kind of lost his way, went over to Europe, raced Europe for 9 years, and he came back in 2019, 2020 with HEP Suzuki.
Yep.
And, now he's finding his way, and now he has a full brand new career, a fresh start at 31.
31, and finally gets the ride of his life.
Yeah. And has a legitimate shot,
at winning a title next year.
And has the speed to do it.
Yeah, like
at 31.
He is a title contender in Supercross next year, without a doubt.
Yes, without a doubt.
He's got the bike, and he's got the speed.
And he's got the skill. And it just takes a long time to develop that skill. And luckily, his dad fucking built a little Supercross track in his backyard with just a whole bunch of jumps.
Oh, that was awesome. Well, I want to say this. I want to formally apologize for how many F-bombs I provided in that interview. Oh, my goodness. I am so sorry, all the people that had to listen to my F-bomb after F-bomb after F-bomb. I was clearly bro-talking with Max, and I was definitely loose. But here's the catch-22. Ty, hit him with the contest.
Okay. The contest is, we don't indulge cussing whatsoever. If you have met me and Addie, we are fairly clean on the cussing part. And
I don't know about me. You more so.
I'm way more conscious of it.
Usually in public we are.
And interviews and stuff like that, we never cuss. But for this interview, and just to keep it fun and light like track talkers are, you got to count. Okay, so the contest is how many FUs did Max?
No, just F words. Just F words. Just the F word.
Oh, just fuck?
Yes.
Okay, how many F words did Max and Addie say
collectively
in the Max ANSTIE interview?
Yes, only in the interview.
We're not going to count the ones I just said. Okay?
Yes.
We don't have to get super technical.
It starts at the interview and ends at the end of the interview.
Yes. And we are going to count them. We know the number. And if you guys, whoever hits it first.
In the comments, the first one to hit the right amount of F words.
I'm getting there.
Sorry.
The right amount of F words gets a set of Dirt Trick sprockets, front and rear, for whatever bike you want.
Track talkers.
Boom.
Hooking you up, bro. Let's go. What an all-time interview. I feel like this thing's going to go viral.
I hope it does.
I really do, because it was like, if it doesn't, I'm going to be very surprised, because...
And it's your guys' job to share it and like and subscribe, too, and give it a thumbs up.
Because that was a,
all-time interview.
Yeah. Max was just telling it the way it was, and he was giving us some awesome info.
Yes.
Cool.
Some deep dive.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No, dude, I'm fucking pumped for SouthWick. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what SouthWick is after
that
the
rain
full-on flood. So hopefully that gets a lot of that new soil on top of the track and gets some of that soft sand back, and it's not so hard packed.
Well, I thought that's what I was kind of interested in, is how are they going to get the new soil back on top? Because they say it washed away all the sand.
I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, I think it's just going to make the track a little bit more inconsistent because it's going to make soft spots and then it's going to make some hard spots.
Yeah.
But, ultimately, Southwick is sand. Either it's hard base sand or endless bottom sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And Max ANSTIE is very, very good at sand.
And him and Deegan were just there this last weekend.
Let's go.
So we'll see.
Max ANSTIE, we're cheering for you, and everybody at Track Talkers is as well. Thank you guys so much for listening. Track Talkers, episode number 13.
Later.
Peace.